Do you want your child to do better in school and eventually grow up to be a successful adult? Hi, my name is Randy Davis, and today I would like to talk to you about reading to your children. This is a very, very important thing that we need to get started very early in our child's life. I have a 3-year-old, so I'm trying my best to make time every day to read to him because there are tremendous benefits from reading to your child. Of course, the obvious is quality time. That's irreplaceable. We don't get a lot of it sometimes. We have very busy lives, of course. I know we all do, and it's hard to find that quality time. So even 5 minutes a night before bed to read to your child is very impactful in their lives. And the benefits of getting them interested in learning and reading very early in life will last throughout their life. I'd like to give you some statistics that I found. There are 44 million adults in the U.S. who can't read well enough to read a simple story to their child. And that's terrible. That's so sad. And how are they supposed to get their children interested in reading if they themselves can't even read? It's amazing to me how that's even possible in this day and age. In addition to that, 15% of all 4th graders read no faster than 74 words per minute, a pace that would make it difficult to keep track with any lesson, any storyline across a page or even a chapter of a book, even a history lesson. It would make it really hard for them to keep up with that lesson and remember everything that they've read. Which brings me to out-of-school reading habits. If you can get a child interested in reading, then they're going to take that home with them. And even 15 minutes a day of independent reading can expose a student to 1 million plus words of text in a full year. Now that helps them a lot in the grand scheme of things because 60% of American prison inmates are illiterate and 85% of all juvenile offenders have reading problems. So as basic as it sounds, your child reads well, they do well in school, they stay out of prison. That's kind of basic, breaking it down, but the statistics are there. It's staggering. And approximately 50% of the nation's 16 to 21-year-olds are functional illiterate. All of our young people, teenagers, young adults, half of those people are functioning illiterate. And the estimated cost to businesses and taxpayers of illiteracy is $20 billion per year. That's a lot of money that could be saved if we just do a simple thing like reading to our child at night and being a good example, reading in front of them to ourselves and getting them interested in reading. Because more than 20% of adults read at or below 5th grade level. And 21 million Americans can't read at all. 45 million are marginally illiterate, and 1/5 of high school graduates can't even read their diplomas. And that's terrible. That shows how sad our school systems are in the U.S. But that's a whole nother speech, so I'll keep going. And all of these stats that I just gave you, they sound ridiculous, obviously. It sounds like something from 30 years ago, maybe 40 even. But in fact, they were copyrighted in 2012 by the Literacy Company. This readfaster.com actually posted this report from the Literacy Company. And it amazed me. I don't know how this is even possible this day and age with all of the technology and all of the opportunity that we can find for ourselves in education. It just amazes me. But according to GEMM learning.com, reading builds, of course, vocabulary, self-esteem. It even improves creativity. And that's a big deal, especially, again, in the world of technology, video games, the new technology with computers. You have to be creative to come up with these types of things. And sometimes it stems from even the simplest reading a story when you were a child that you remember, and then you get a video game, for example, out of that, which doesn't actually help our children because they love playing video games. Anyway, we need to flex our muscles. Our brain is our most important muscle, and it needs to be worked to function properly, just like our biceps or our calves to walk. We have to keep our muscles healthy so they keep functioning properly. Well, our brain is the same way. Our memory will improve, our comprehension will improve. An article on Oprah.com actually states that research shows how reading can actually improve memory. So that's a big deal. Again, that helps in school, which helps in high school, which helps in college, which helps in the workforce. We need to enforce this in our children. Reading is important. It helps us in so many ways. And if children don't get in the habit of reading, they're not going to keep that habit, and they're not going to get all of the benefits that early reading can give them. I did fairly well in school, but I wasn't an early reader. I didn't go home and read books, and I struggled a little bit in some of my classes. I could have used that extra help, I guess you could say, when I was a child. If I had had that good foundation to build memory and things like that, I would have done a lot better. Basically, what I'm saying here is we have to get our children interested in reading. It helps. So many things that it benefits, and it's one of the most important fundamentals in school and in the workforce. Thank you for listening to me. My name is Randy Davis, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.